DJI, what is going on? It's been 2 years since the Osmo Pocket 3 has been released. I've started my YouTube channel all because of this camera. I recommend this camera to anybody who asks me for a turnkey option. However, it is still remains in most scenarios completely out of stock, prices completely through the roof. We need to figure out what's going on and is it still worth the value in 2025? Let's jump into it. All right, let's talk about high demand. The Osmo Pocket 3 is that turnkey option that I recommend to everybody every single time. With the 4K image, with the active track, the 120 FPS when it comes to slow motion, you cannot find a camera that's more complete than the Osmo Pocket 3. And with the increasing amount of content creators creating content on YouTube, and they just want a camera that could do it all, I could completely understand why the camera is still in high demand in 2025. All right, let's talk about it being sold out though. Every time I turn around, I see the camera sold out. I got tons of Best Buys. Me being in the New York area, there's tons of Best Buys. Every time I look, it's either a few left in stock or some in stock, or they're completely out of stock, or I have to wait a couple of days. Let me know, comment down below. Let me know if you have that experience. I know there's also been options to pick up the Osmo Pocket 3 in Costco's, BJ's and stuff like that for the retail price. So if you do see something like that, a couple of people in a few videos have told me that they've seen the Osmo Pocket 3 for retail price. If you do see that price in stock, let me know what city and state you're in. Let me know if it's still in stock, because I got a couple of people who are in line to get this camera. Because this camera, I'll be honest, with the price increases, I still think it's a great value. But it being sold out and people wanting to get started in creating content today, it's almost to the point where these prices are almost comparison to full frame cameras. Let me know if you've seen it in stock, what's your experience? But right now, I've seen them in and out of stock every time I turn around. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, and it is the price hikes. These prices have increased over time, and this is directly from DJI themselves. And we're not talking about third-party retailers. We're talking about Best Buys. We're talking about Micro Centers. We're talking about B&H Photo, Adorama. All these places have had price hikes all throughout the 2-year time frame. And it could be because of a bunch of other things. I know it could be the tariffs. It could be anything. But I'm gonna be honest, all the action cameras remain at a fair price, at least for now. So like, I'm gonna be honest, I know that there's tons of other cameras out there, but it's just this gimbal and this simple form factor that makes me wanna come back to it. And as a camera, I still recommend it. If you can find this camera open box or at original price, like I said, comment down below. Let me know where you have seen it at regular price. But right now, the biggest issue is just the price. All right, let's talk about the biggest elephant in the room when it comes to the Osmo Pocket 3. And this camera is not water resistant. If you want to get a camera like this at this point and you're paying this kind of money, I feel like DJI should be cognizant of the fact that, man, this camera ain't water resistant. Y'all need to check these prices and remember that this camera is not water resistant. So that's something you should consider when buying the camera. But outside of the water resistance, you should be fine. If not, go with an action camera like the Action 4 or the Action 5. All right, I had to get back in the car because we are not doing a care refresh claim, but either way, I still recommend the Osmo Pocket 3 as that go-to camera. I know it's expensive. I know it doesn't have water resistance, but at the end of the day, this camera gives a great image, whether you're shooting in D-Log-M, or you're shooting in auto, you can throw ND filters on it, you can connect the mic to it. It just allows you a simple workflow. If you can find the Osmo Pocket 3 at its retail price, I would recommend it 120%. Like I said, I've seen people find it in Costco's, I've seen them find it in BJ's to create a combo. It outperforms the inconvenience of a full frame camera. I know the price is high. I know the camera's not water resistant, but you still can connect external mics, ND filters. It's pocketable. Listen, I know the Osmo Pocket 3 has had its issues. However, there's no other camera in this class that can beat it. The Osmo Pocket 3 is still that camera I would recommend for somebody who's looking to get started with content creation. With its great mic system, 4K image, the great gimbal, you can't beat the Osmo Pocket 3 when it comes to its feature set. But what I would recommend is check your Costco, BJ, Sam's Club. Check open box options. Even consider a third party that may be selling it for a reduced price. If you can find any of these things and you're successful, comment down below where you purchased it from, how much you paid. I would love to hear it, and we can share this knowledge to anybody who's looking to grab a camera to jump into this content creation field. Listen, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, you're a real one. I appreciate you. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Take care of yourself. Peace.